Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Steve and today we're diving into the world of the TVA and we're replacing this boring old clock with a functional Miss Minutes clock from the hit Marvel series Loki. If you're a fan of the show, then this is a great project for you, and if you're in need of a clock, this is also a great project for you. So let's get started. In case you haven't seen Loki yet, Miss Minutes is the charming yet mysterious animated clock that guides us through the Time Variance Authority, or TVA, and today we're bringing it to life in the form of a fully functional clock. Let's take a look at the model we're going to use for today's build. I got the model from DO3D. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I should be at this rate. It's a good job, I love their files. So, this Miss Minutes model is split up into different pieces, which is great for us because we're going to need to fit this clock mechanism inside. We should be able to make all the changes in the slicer before we even print it, which is one of the reasons why I love 3D printing. So, let's jump over to the slicer and get to work. I took measurements I needed off camera and loaded up the model into the slicer, and before I did anything else I made a test piece. I cut up the model so only the part I needed was going to be printed. This is going to save a lot of time, a lot of material, and also your sanity. So I applied the measurements to this piece using the add negative part. I used the cylinder for the hole and the cube for the box on the back. So what happened then was I printed it out and I learned a few things. This piece here was too thick. The box was also too big on the back. The other thing I learned was I'm going to have to significantly slow down the printer because the print head knocked this piece off while it was printing, so it never got to finish, but I got what I needed. So then I applied what I learned from that test piece and I applied it to this model. This is 10mm thick. It's significantly thin, so what would happen is as I was printing it out it would fall over. So now the parts that I added was I went into the add negative part, I put the cylinder and I punched the hole in the center. I also added negative parts and added the box on the back there, and I added these holes because how I'm going to attach these parts together is via magnets. I also added a cube box on the back here so that we can hang it on a nail. The settings for this are strength, detect thin walls, 15% infill density. The speed I significantly slowed down, so my outer wall speed was 50, my inner wall speed was 100. My sparse infill was 100 and my internal solid infill was 100 and my top surface was 100. Then for the supports I went normal, auto, default style, 15% threshold angle, on build plate and remove small overhangs. And then I also added a 2-layer raft just to try and secure it a little bit. I then added an outer brim, and then once it printed halfway I also went in and slowed it down to 50% speed. The last thing I did was I went up to variable layer height and I went all the way over to the quality side and I pressed adaptive, and then you see all these red lines. We didn't want any of them, so what I did was I smoothed it all out and got it to print at a 0.08 all the way up. Then I hit slice. And there we have it. Once it's sliced, it is going to print out like this, but it says 1 day, 15 hours, 32 minutes, but when I slowed it down halfway, it then said like 3 days, so it took considerably longer than the time it's showing here to print. Also, the failure I had as well to start off with, so the whole time it was a lot longer. Now it's been a couple of days and I successfully printed out these two pieces. They look like dinner plates, but the detail is actually pretty good. So what we're going to do now is do a sanity check, because I do not want to print this out again because it took forever. So I hope this fits. Let's get that in there like that. Line it up and it fits. Yes, look at that. Look at that, it fits. And this thing is going to work perfectly. What we're going to need to do now is attach this piece to this piece here. So what I was thinking we could probably use is some like blue tack, or I think I found some Gorilla Tack. I guess it's the same stuff, never used it before, so we'll try that one out. And apply 4 not even dots to the surface of this mechanism, and then I'm going to very secure. This was an absolute pain to print out as well because it's so thin. Printing it, I printed it up like that because I wanted the detail to come out well enough, which I think it has, but the annoyance of that was I was so panicking every single minute this thing was printing. I was like, it's gonna fall over, it's gonna fall over, it's gonna fall over. And yeah, it was one of them things where you just like panicking the entire time. You're like checking on it constantly because I was, I couldn't describe the, I guess, anxious, the feeling, but it was just one of them things that you're like, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You got to keep reassuring yourself, no, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And I had to not check on it every 5 minutes by the end because I was just getting too panicked. I'd end up watching it and then I wouldn't get anything done. So it's one of them things. But this has fitted in very nicely. And what we can do now is there's a bolt. Oh, more of a nut actually. That goes on the front there like that. Now that I've installed the magnets, we have got a really nice fit. So, seeing the magnets, and then they snap together nicely. Go on, there you go. So, kind of looks like a giant Oreo. Anyway, let's get on. I've removed all the mechanism inside so that it's going to make it easier to paint. So let's get on to painting. And there we have it, our very own Miss Minutes clock, fully assembled, and she looks amazing. And she's ready to go on the wall, so let's get to it. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, also hit that bell icon to stay notified of any future projects. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, don't forget to leave them in the comments below, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.